In the world of medieval battlefields, weapons weren't just tools, they were game changers. Imagine an iron mace crushing through armor, or a crossbow piercing a target from hundreds of feet away. These weren't just weapons, they reshaped how wars were fought, forcing knights and soldiers to adapt quickly. Did these innovations really change warfare forever? And could some of the tactics we see today have roots going back to these brutal weapons? Let's dive into how these medieval weapons left a mark that lasted far beyond the Middle Ages. The sword was more than just a weapon, it was a symbol of honor and skill. In medieval times, every knight carried one as their main weapon, and for good reason. Swords were made to cut, slice, and pierce through armor. They were balanced, sharp, and had just the right weight to allow knights to move quickly in battle while still delivering powerful blows. The way swords were made back then was impressive too. Blacksmiths spent countless hours hammering and shaping each one, ensuring it was tough enough to survive battles, but light enough to wield easily. Swords came in different types. Some were long and narrow for piercing through gaps in armor, while others were heavier and meant to deliver crushing blows. Because of their versatility, swords became the weapon of choice for close combat. Knights would train for years to master their technique, learning how to block, strike, and parry attacks. The sword didn't just change warfare, it shaped the knight's very identity, setting the standard for bravery and skill on the battlefield. Daggers were small but deadly. While swords were the knight's main weapon, daggers were their backup, perfect for close encounters and surprise attacks. In the chaos of battle, a dagger could be the difference between life and death. They were quick to draw and easy to hide, making them ideal for sneaking up on an enemy or getting in a quick strike if a knight lost their main weapon. These blades were sharp and designed to pierce, often finding their way through the small openings in armor where a larger weapon couldn't. Daggers weren't just used on the battlefield either. In tight castle hallways or dark alleyways, they were tools for assassinations and stealth attacks. They might not have the size of a sword, but in the hands of someone skilled, a dagger was just as dangerous. When it came to brute force, maces and warhammers ruled the battlefield. These weapons didn't rely on sharp edges. Instead, they used raw impact to smash through armor and shields. A mace had a heavy head, often spiked or studded, that could crush even the toughest armor, while warhammers had pointed ends made for breaking through metal. Knights who wielded these weapons weren't looking for finesse. They were out to deliver crushing blows that could leave an enemy stunned or worse. Unlike swords or daggers, maces and hammers didn't require as much skill. All a knight needed was the strength to swing, and the damage was devastating. These weapons changed how armies approached battle. Soldiers began adding more layers to their armor, trying to withstand these powerful hits, but even with that, a well-placed strike from a mace or hammer could knock them off their feet. Crossbows and longbows were revolutionary for their ability to attack from a distance. Before these weapons, battles were mostly up close, but with the crossbow and longbow, armies could hit their enemies long before they got near. Crossbows were easier to use than longbows, with a simple point-and-shoot mechanism. This allowed even less trained soldiers to fire accurately, making it a favorite for many armies. The longbow, however, required serious skill. Archers trained for years to master the longbow's range and power. A skilled longbowman could shoot arrows that pierced armor from hundreds of feet away. This kind of firepower made the longbow crucial in battles where armies faced large groups of heavily armored knights. These bows transformed battle strategies, forcing armies to think about defense from far-off attacks. Castles were redesigned with higher walls and more guarded entry points to protect against these deadly arrows. With the ability to rain arrows down on their enemies, crossbows and longbows shifted the focus from just brute strength to strategy, forever changing how battles were fought. Spears and javelins were straightforward yet highly effective. Spears could keep enemies at bay with their length, giving soldiers a safe distance to attack from, while javelins were thrown, making them ideal for striking from afar. These weapons didn't require advanced training, meaning more soldiers could be equipped with them, giving armies an advantage in both defense and offense. Spears and javelins may have been basic, but they were versatile and reliable. They could be used against mounted enemies, infantry, or even in hunting. Simple but essential tools that every medieval army counted on. When it came to breaking down castle walls and defenses, nothing worked like trebuchets, catapults, and battering rams. These siege weapons were massive and powerful, able to tear through thick stone and wooden walls. A trebuchet, for example, worked like a giant sling, hurling heavy stones, burning tar, or even disease-ridden carcasses over castle walls to strike fear and chaos inside. Catapults were similar, but often smaller and simpler to set up. They could fire rocks, burning materials, or anything heavy enough to cause serious damage. Soldiers would spend days or weeks launching rounds, hoping to weaken their enemy's defenses. Battering rams had a different role. Instead of launching things over walls, they aimed to knock down the gates directly. These were heavy logs, often covered in metal, that soldiers would repeatedly slam into a wall or gate. With enough force, even the strongest gate would eventually give way. Siege weapons were crucial for armies trying to conquer castles and strongholds. Without them, many medieval battles would have been slow and grueling. These massive machines made it possible to break down some of the toughest defenses, reshaping how wars were fought by shifting the focus from defense to aggressive siege tactics. Weapons weren't the only things that evolved. Shields and armor also advanced as medieval battles grew fiercer. Shields started as simple wooden boards but soon became reinforced with metal, making them more durable against swords, arrows, and even the crushing blows of a mace. Armor too changed with time. From chainmail to full plate armor, each type aimed to protect different parts of the body. Chainmail was flexible, covering large areas, while plate armor was hard and deflected weapons but was heavier. Knights needed to strike a balance between protection and mobility, and armor became a key part of that equation. As weapons got stronger, armor and shields adapted to meet new threats on the battlefield. Many medieval weapons influenced how modern warfare evolved. Take the longbow, for example. It set the stage for later advancements in ranged weapons, leading to guns and cannons. Siege tactics used in castle warfare laid the groundwork for strategies used in modern siege scenarios and urban warfare. The idea of balancing offense with defense using armor and shields along with powerful weapons is still relevant today. Though weapons look different now, medieval strategies and tools left a lasting impact, reminding us that the basics of war haven't changed all that much. Medieval weapons reshaped battlefields and left a deep mark on history. From swords and shields to catapults and trebuchets, each weapon added a new element to warfare. Did these weapons change war forever? Absolutely. Even today, we can see echoes of these tools and strategies in the technology and the methods we use in battle. If you enjoyed diving into the incredible world of medieval warfare and learning about these game-changing weapons, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're just getting started on uncovering history's hidden stories and surprising secrets. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.